What's up, y'all? It is Cody Wynn. We're in our next video in our series where I have a debate with a universalist and an atheist who is the host. So although I'm not really debating the atheist, he's the one who is poking and prodding me with all the questions. So obviously I'm a minority in my viewpoint here in this conversation, but today we're going to talk about my view and my belief system on how many gods there are, as well as how I could justify saying that God wrote the entire Bible. So obviously he's trying to really poke and prod at me here again, but again, it's all stuff that I appreciate because they're genuine questions that need to be answered. So hopefully it helps you all and benefits you all. If you would, please feel free to subscribe and like the video, but we're going to be coming out with more content, so if you want to see more stuff from this exact interview, make sure you're subscribed so that you can see the rest of our content. But with that being said, let's go.
Would you say that God or Yahweh would say and look at porn stars as, I know they're acting, I know they're just doing a role, it's not real?
Yeah, I would say, you know, you could compare that to any other sort of sin, like you know, well, a great example would be a rape scene. Specifically, what if somebody was acting in a movie in some country where this was okay, where a grown man was having intercourse with a 4-year-old girl? If I say that that's just acting, would you say that that's justifiable? Absolutely not. And God would say the same thing. So no, regardless of acting or not, doesn't change the standard of morality that God has set in the Bible.
So even if it's something like Manuel's role, he's not doing rape scenes, he's not doing BDSM kind of rough things, he's bringing some kind of mission, some passion, he's showing a creative aspect to his role. He's not bringing that. He's showing a different role, though.
Yeah, sure. So back to the standard of morality thing, is Hitler, honest to God, genuinely thought he was doing a benefit to society, and he was wrong. Even though he genuinely thought he was. And again, to be clear, I'm not comparing porn to murder. I'm just saying, to the point of a standard of morality having to be above you, me, and Hitler, that he genuinely thought he was doing a good thing. And to be clear, if you study Hitler, I mean, he did actually quite a few good things. He did some things that I actually totally approve of. I don't think that slaughtering people was one of them, but he actually had a lot of scientific discoveries that he came out with, which I'm very appreciative of. So even though he had some good nuggets in there, I'm not going to say what he was doing was okay because of it.
So would you say that Manuel is on the same level as Hitler, though? I get that sense. Is that what you're trying to say, or is
I believe I'm on the same level as Hitler.
You're on the same level as Hitler as well.
Yeah. It's got nothing to do with porn making somebody on the same level as Hitler. It's got to do with depravity of man putting somebody on the same level of Hitler. Do I believe that I've caused as many natural consequences as Hitler? No, but I believe I'm equally as deserving of hell as Hitler.
Okay. So the depravity that you're talking about, how is the depravity something that is seen in porn, like the porn that Manuel does, that he's described? In what way do you believe in your spirituality that that's something that is depraved?
Well, I wouldn't put it on any greater or worse level than lying or thieving or blasphemy or adultery or anything else. So again, I don't think it's in its special category. The reason I'm so passionate about this topic in general is just because I know how many people's lives it is negatively affecting from their standpoint. I'm not saying it's negatively affecting their lives. They're saying it's negatively affecting their lives. You know, mind you, I could go through a book of stats that I literally have pulled up here of people whose marriages have been split up. You know, 60% of marriages that get split up have something to do with divorce, which is a study that was done, as well as the thing that makes me most passionate about this whole thing, and I don't want to jump the gun, but is the fact that if porn didn't exist, human trafficking wouldn't exist. And I believe that all three of us would be on the same agreement that human trafficking is disgusting, it's sick, it's awful. And if porn at all did not exist, then human trafficking wouldn't exist at all. And that is what I'm extremely passionate about in this whole discussion.
Okay, so my thing with that is that I believe that things should change for it to have no sexual harassment and all these things. And the thing is not, the problem is not porn. The problem is the lack of being exposed to nudity and the way that it's forbidden. If something is forbidden enough, then you're always going to desire it. You know, like everyone is born with penis and boobs, like, but it's been so taboo. Like if you remove the taboos, and this is why I'm the way I am, because with my parents, we had no taboos. We could walk around naked around the house. No one cared. And the biggest example of that is Christianity itself with the priests. The most known rapists are within the church itself because they refuse to have any form of sex, and then they would rape all these children. You know, and if you remove the taboo, if sex is accepted and everybody has this, we all have organs, then there's no more human trafficking, there's no more desire to rape anyone because everyone is on the same page.
And I'll agree to the point that I believe that Christianity has this big disservice that has been done where it's like the S word is a no-no. We can't say it in church. And it's like, I'm one of the reasons I'm so passionate about speaking on social media is because I want to let people know, hey, sex isn't a bad thing. Sex isn't a weird thing. We're allowed to talk about sex. It doesn't need to be this weird elephant in the room. Even pornography, like we can openly have the discussion. But I mean, if you look at the comments on anything I say about porn, you'll see hundreds, thousands of people say, thank you for talking about this topic. And no one ever talks about it. And it's like, well, why not? It's something that you actually go through. So I agree with you on the point that the fact that we're just completely ignoring the fact that it exists or that it's a good thing. Because again, Christianity, God says sex is a really good thing. One of the first commands to humankind is be fruitful and multiply. He says, make a bunch of babies. I mean, God is all about sex. God loves sex. But I think that with what we have done in saying this big hush-hush thing, specifically with the Catholic Church, as you said, is it causes tons of rape. So you know, and a bunch of pedophilia at that as well. So I am the biggest proponent of I cannot stand what Catholic priests are doing in that sense.